Yo, what is up guys? I just got selected to be an alpha tester for the new Need for Speed game that just came out from EA, let's take a look here, just get a little sit down, move that Mustang stuff aside, alright? So as you can see here, it's a whole new NFS experience, 0 cars, 0 tracks, 52 cards, rather interesting choice of decision, I don't know why they decided to do what they did, but let's go ahead and open it up. Looks like we're gonna need a PlayStation 3 to play this, so let me go bust that out. Let's go dig it up over here. All right, I'll go ahead and I'll get this set up for you guys.
Alright, so I went ahead and booted up the game. Really simple graphics. Don't know what the devs were going in this direction. But it looks like they decided that no one really wanted to play with cars, so they just removed cars entirely. Because everyone just wanted to play with cards, because the cars and racing, that was all just filler. No one actually wants to upgrade them. People just want to stare at cards and shuffle cards and watch cards spin. I personally don't know how to play this game, so I don't think I'll be recording any more footage of this. I'm not a fan of the new Need for Speed game. I'm probably going to go ahead and look up a guide so I can get better at playing it, so hold on. I hope you guys enjoyed that little skit that I made, but anyways, on to the meat of this video. Honestly, when it comes to cards and racing games, or the whole loot box thing, it makes me fear for the future of the racing game industry, and really just the game industry in general, because everything is trying to cash cow you, everything is trying to get your money. It seems so fishy, and the worst part is people obviously fall for it. Even though there's quite a vocal majority, I feel like another majority of players actually still are okay with this. And what upsets me is that even racing sims have cards, like Forza Motorsport 7, and that's a game that takes pride in calling itself an accurate racing sim. And don't get me wrong, the cards in Forza 7 don't affect gameplay that much. When it comes to cosmetics, I guess I'm fine with it. But when it comes to upgrading the cars itself, hell no. Like for Need for Speed Payback, that's a joke. I can't believe you need cards to progress through the game. Upgrading cars are half the fun. Video games are a good way to get interested in about learning cars, especially since, me as a car enthusiast, I got into cars because of playing Gran Turismo 2, and I loved upgrading my car. I still remember doing racing upgrades on a freaking Honda Civic in that game. And aside from doing racing upgrades, working with the turbos, even with the tires, all the suspension tuning, simple things like that, but at the same time it added a layer of depth into the game. And of course, I don't expect it to be that complicated for every racing game, but when you completely just shoehorn in this tuning system that involves cards, it feels soulless. It really rips the heart and soul out of racing games, and it really just tears my heart as a car enthusiast. And even for non-car people, like even for casuals playing games like this, I feel like they hate this more. Like this system is more confusing to them than learning about actual ECU tuning and suspension and downforce and all that other jargon that they actually need to learn and actually could learn about how cars actually work in real life. Of course, it's not all accurate, and like I said, it's definitely intimidating to learn, but cards, if anything, are more confusing and more RNG based, and it just limits the freedom of builds. And I'm talking of real unique car guy builds, like actually engine swapping cars, transmission swapping them, really fun stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be super complicated like Forza Horizon 3. I know everyone and their mother just takes a V12 and drops it into every car, but at least you get the option to do that. Like that shows that the devs in that game really cared about that side of the car community. Really love how car guys, we do love to do stuff like that. And it also is cool for non-car people because they get to learn more about cars, especially since they kind of don't realize, a lot of people I know don't realize that you can do that. Like, there are people in this world who are crazy enough to change out engines for cars just for the kicks and giggles. And taking away these unique builds really just puts a damper in the game and the whole atmosphere and the whole culture of cars, and it really pisses me off. And don't give me so by builds, I don't mean like specs, don't give me that. Just stop Need for Speed Payback. Like Chidori or Outlaw or Americano or whatever the fuck, that's not real builds. I can spec my car Chidori. If you haven't played Need for Speed Payback, it probably sounds like I'm talking about a foreign language. but you know, I can spec a car to be Chidori, and then I'll have better handling and acceleration. I think that's what it gives you. I don't give enough shits about that game to properly tell you what Chidori does. You know, that's not how it works. That's not how real life works. I don't wake up in the morning and throw cards at my Mustang until its handling and acceleration gets better. Like, that's not how it works. And I feel like it's important that games are somewhat grounded in reality, because that's what gets people interested in cars. And like I said, that's not a real build. Like, as a car enthusiast, I don't appreciate that. I think that completely limits creativity. And the worst part is it's all RNG. It's all randomly generated garbage. Like, as you saw in the little skit at the beginning of this video, you were just rolling for cards. And you can race for the cards, don't get me wrong, you can progress through the campaign. But based on what people told me when I was playing through Need for Speed Payback on my second channel, Kartaku, a lot of people commented that the only way to get the best cards in that game was to roll. And of course, the only way to get rolls is either pay real life money for them or go through a slow daily grind. And I don't mind grinding as a mechanic in games and even in racing games, but it's always worth it when it actually has to do with down-to-earth car stuff, not freaking cards. I don't buy a racing game to watch cards. I want to get down and dirty. And another excuse that some people give is there are those like cool mechanic simulators and stuff that let you work with upgrading cars, and if I don't like these games, I should just play those games instead. But my reasoning for that is those games aren't as mainstream as Need for Speed. Like I said, I rely on these genres to be more mainstream because that's what gets the mainstream audience and attention, especially for non-car people. Like, that's how we grow as a car community, is the mainstream games like Need for Speed, Forza, all those games are actually properly getting people interested in cars. And I feel like cards just ruin that. And on top of that, I want to drive the car, because I know a lot of mechanic simulator games, they don't really let you drive a car, and for the same reason upgrading the car is half the fun, driving it is the other half. And just to say the least, if it sounds like I really hate Need for Speed Payback, I don't entirely. It plays like a great game, and I really do enjoy it as a game, and I can tell a lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been put into making it a decently good game, but it feels so shoehorned. It feels like it got ruined because of the upgrading system. Like, real talk, why are some of the cars, like the Nissan Skyline R34, is locked to 300? A Volkswagen Beetle gets a higher finishing rank than an R34 Skyline. The main character, Tyler, he literally is shown on the cover art with the Skyline. Like, I thought that would be like one of the balls to the wall best cars in that game, because that's a car guy car. That car is legendary, and the fact that they made it max out at 300 goes to show that the devs of that game really don't give a shit about car culture. You know, they didn't do their research, and it shows. Like, that's what upsets me. On top of shoehorning in cards, they don't even let us truly upgrade cars that should be upgraded and compete with other cars fully upgraded, because that's the point of the R34. It's literally legendary. Like, I don't know, that's one specific example. There are so many more examples in that game where cars that shouldn't be locked at such a low rank compared to other cars that are able to max out. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But no matter how good of a game Need for Speed Payback is, or how well a game plays, like I said, I'll repeat it again, it's that upgrading is half the fun for types of games like this, and this is just bad for the car community, and it really feels like an insult to car enthusiasts. And going forward, I hope they make a change, because I miss more arcade games, even simulation games. Like, stop with this loot box garbage. Like, it makes sense for a mobile free-to-play game like Asphalt to kind of do it, but it just does not work as a mechanic, even in Need for Speed games, much less in Forza. And just get rid of it. Like, honestly, I'd rather have a game that doesn't let you upgrade cars than this. I'm literally serious, because at least that way you're all on an even playing field, and you don't have to worry about that one guy who's throwing in hundreds of dollars so he can keep on rolling and get the best cards. We already paid 60 bucks for the game. Why the hell are we expected to pay even more on these microtransactions? I know everyone already talked about this. I kind of already missed the train of the whole issue that happened with Star Wars Battlefront, but it's a recurring problem, and don't blame just EA. It's a bigger problem than that. It seems like everyone thinks they can get away with that. As for all you car guys watching this video, what do you guys think? And looking forward into the future, what do you expect from racing games? Leave your thoughts and comments below. That's all I've got for this video, and if you're a non-car person and this also pissed you off, well, welcome to the channel. If you'd like to get interested in cars, then stay tuned. Other than that, thanks for watching. As always, see y'all next time. Bladed Angel out.